Hello and welcome to another episode of Gig and Towel podcast. I'm Tash.
I'm Phil.
And today we have our first guest appearance. So this is Grace. Say hi, Grace.
Hi.
So Grace also has a YouTube channel, Grace Denton.
Yes.
And she does kind of like lifestyle vloggy kind of videos, would you say?
Yeah, throw a bit of fashion in there as well.
Lovely. So we are going to be talking today about the fact that we've, I was about to say all gone to see Yungblud. Technically, we haven't all gone to see Yungblud because you haven't gone this time. Have you,
I
Phil?
didn't go this time. No.
But me and Grace did. So
Yes.
we went to opposite gigs actually. So I went to Birmingham.
And I went to the Sheffield one 2 weeks earlier.
Yes. So we've got a bit of a comparison, which is nice because I feel like we don't usually have comparisons to compare the shows to, and I always wonder if they say the same kind of things at the concerts, like per concert, because it always feels authentic, and then you're like, are they saying this to everyone though?
This was the loudest crowd ever.
Yeah.
Was it?
This is the best night so far. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one to compare to our experiences. So where do you want to start?
Where do we want to start? Do we want to go in order? Do we want to go through supports first?
Yeah, can do. Yeah, no problem. So you saw more support acts than I did, didn't you, Grace?
Yes, so we had two. It was the Molotovs and the Warning. I sat through them both. I've enjoyed the music of the Warning a lot more than the Molotovs. They had a great band name, but you just could not work out any of the lyrics, anything about what the songs were like speaking about or anything like that. It was just a lot of noise. Like you could hear the guitars really well and it was good music. And so I don't know whether that was a them problem or like a sound design tech problem. But I did find them very difficult to hear even when they were speaking between songs, so then that makes me think again more of it being a tech problem. But then the Warning afterwards, great. I've added them to my playlist.
No way. I love when that happens and you discover someone new through support.
Really cool. Girl band, and I'm pretty sure they said they were Mexican as well, so that was quite cool that they came all the way to the UK.
Yeah, I saw them as well. We didn't turn up for the first support act, so I can't comment on them, but we did see, did you say it was the Warning that they were called? And they were good. They felt, me and Harrison said they felt a bit heavy for what we thought someone for Yungblud would support. But we enjoyed them. They were good. And actually, their picture popped up after on the, like, you know, when they do like the scan a QR code thing and they take a picture of the band up there. Their picture looked nothing like how they sounded because we were quite far back, so we didn't really see the stage very well. But we were listening to them, and then the picture came up, and they looked like they would be like a proper pop girl band. They were all in pink with like their picture didn't look like their sound at all.
Yeah, they looked quite typical girly girl.
Yeah, and then their music was like quite heavy, I think.
It was almost like a bit of like a baby metal vibe.
Yeah,
where they come out looking all like.
Yes, legit,
absolutely,
legit. But yeah, we thought they were good. To be honest, we thought there was quite a long pause. I don't know whether it was the same when you saw him, but they came off stage, and I'm sure there was like a full hour between them coming off stage and Yungblud coming on.
That was not the same for Sheffield.
No,
I think we had about half an hour gap in between each support act, and so that was the same between them finishing and Yungblud starting.
Interesting. We did say we think he was late on stage because he didn't come on the stage for us until about 20 past 9, and we were like, I'm pretty sure all the other shows said that he came on stage at 9, so we were I think that he came off stage late. I think that support came off stage at about 25 past, and then he came on at like 20 past time, and we were like, it like really killed the vibe. Like, I like having a support act because it gets you in the vibe of like you're upbeat and stuff, but then we were stood there for like nearly an hour like, where is he? Like, why is he not on stage yet? Which was a bit frustrating, to be honest, because we were like, what is going on? And we weren't even there for the full time. Like, we weren't there to see the previous support, and we weren't there like queuing or anything. So the people that had been there the full time must have been like, okay, my feet hurt, can we continue?
I'm ready for this to begin now.
Yeah, exactly. And we were a bit worried about the set being cut short as well because of that because of him not coming on until 9:20. And we've said this before, but the trains in Birmingham, we did you drive? Oh, you stayed over in
Yes,
Sheffield,
drove to Sheffield and had a hotel.
Fair enough. So you didn't need to get any trains.
No.
But the last train from Birmingham was at 11:10, and I was like, we've got to walk to the train station yet. You've got to get out all of the concert queues and stuff getting out the door. I said, if he's not off stage by like 10:45, we're going to really struggle to get to the last train on time. And we're never getting an Uber with this many people in this venue. So we did actually have to miss the last bit of the set.
Oh no.
I know, because and the time was going, I was like, why is he still not on stage yet? It's like 9:20, what's going on? And I said, we're going to end up missing like the end of it. And when we'd looked, I said to Harrison, what are the last songs out of curiosity? Like, are they ones we've seen before that we can miss because we've seen Yungblud a couple of times before? And the last to one, the song was Zombie, and that is what Harrison specifically wanted to come to this show for. And I think that, like, we looked at the couple of songs that were on before that, so we knew how close it was to coming, and we were just keeping an eye on the time. And then I think he missed a song out of what he'd been playing previously because he just played Zombie and he didn't play the one that was on that we'd read that he usually plays before. So we did catch it in the end, and Harrison was very happy. But only just like, I think he started playing that at 2:45, and then we left at like 10:02 to get the last train. But we did miss whatever he played last.
Yeah, they really just need to add one more train.
I just think, yeah, like either sync your music venues to your trains, or just like so that the artists have done by a curfew for the last trains and stuff, or like, yeah, just make the train 11:30, please, so that I don't have to be so stressed.
Yeah, we were so late back the other night, but Adam drove, so we like.
I did think about driving, but I just hate driving in Birmingham.
Yeah.
I just hate it.
Yeah. See,
What
Adam would rather
venue
drive in Birmingham than have the stress of trying to make the last train.
I would rather run for the train than have to drive in Birmingham. I hate Birmingham driving.
Which Birmingham venue were you at?
Utilita.
Oh, okay. See, I don't mind that one. It's the Now BP?
See, I'll drive to that one.
Yeah, I'll drive to that one because the
I
parking's okay.
don't like that one as much. I don't mind parking at the Utilita one.
Fair enough. I find the space is more difficult at Utilita, though we do have we found like a secret street that we try and park on that we usually get a space for, but I'm always like, if that is full, then
where do
I go? Because the actual car parks for Utilita, I find the space is really small.
It's always
and it's
full.
really hard to get out of at the end of the night.
See, I don't do that one. I do the Q Park just over the bridge.
Oh.
I would recommend, highly recommend.
You park under the bridge. Okay, we'll have to note that one down. Maybe I'll drive then, but I hate Birmingham drivers. I always feel like I'm going to die.
You have to become a Birmingham driver to drive in Birmingham.
Yes,
the
that
only
is
way
so
you should
true.
do it.
Get the mentality.
Yeah. See, that's why I don't mind BP Pulse, because it's mostly motorway, and then it's not really like in Birmingham.
Yes.
Like, you get the motorway most of the way there, and then there's just a couple of roads and you're there.
Yeah,
So I don't mind that.
That's fair. But anyway, I went straight to the end of the concert and you said, let's go in order, so I'm sorry about that.
How did you find the energy when he kicked it off then? Like, did he bring it in
So good.
full force? Or like...
Absolutely. His energy at the beginning, but also just the entire of the show, insane.
Yeah.
I need to know what that man has for breakfast, because I need a bit of that in my life.
I know.
Throughout the whole thing, his energy was so high, and so he kicked it off perfectly, I would say.
Yeah.
I actually said to Harrison while we were there, I said, I don't think I've ever had that much energy in my entire life, and I don't think I ever will. Like, his eyes are so awake. I'm like, how do you look like so wired? It's crazy. That was actually one of the notes I made in my phone of things to talk about, was just his charisma and his energy is unmatched. Like, I've never watched anyone that can just perform so effortlessly. I think that there was a couple of times that he kind of went off on a tangent. I can't tell you how many times he said, "We love you, Birmingham." Like, he kept saying, "We love you, Birmingham. How much do we love them?" And then like going to all of his bandmates saying it. But it was like after every song, and I was like, "Okay, we get it. We get it. You love us." But he did a lot of like how do I describe it? I wrote some of the things down that he did. Oh, he kept saying, I don't know if he did this for you or not, but he kept saying, Birmingham, how crazy are you? How crazy are you feeling? Like, that's how we started the show, was saying, like, how crazy are you feeling tonight? You're about to have the best night of your life, kind of thing. And then, like, yeah, like, I think 4 or 5 times throughout the show, he was like, how crazy are you, Birmingham? He said that over and over again. I was like, you've already asked us 4 times.
Ours was quite similar, but not the same sentences. So it was like, keep asking and asking and asking to make some noise and get louder and let us hear you, Sheffield. So he was still repetitive, but not with the same things, if that makes sense.
Interesting, very interesting to know. I mean, we said, like, I like it when people talk in between songs. It feels like you're connecting to that artist a little bit more. Like, I like it when they aren't just on stage. Like Kings of Leon, if you ever go and see Kings of Leon, they will just play the set. They'll say, hi, Birmingham, and then they'll play the set and go off stage. They will not speak in between.
Oh.
And I don't like that.
No, it's wild to me.
I don't like that. I like to feel like you've got a connection. There's some like something funny said, or like, I don't know, like, make it a show.
Yes.
But
yeah.
so I liked that he was talking in between his songs, but it's like, okay, find a few more things to say because you're just repeating yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did he do the crazy tongue thing to you guys? Put your tongue out?
Yes.
That was quite an interesting...
And then it was a thing of put your tongue out more and more and further. And I'm like, I've only got so much.
I know, yeah.
And
we actually already have an inside joke about Harrison's tiny tongue. So he's like, it's small and I can't help it.
Yeah, it doesn't go out very far, does
No,
it?
it doesn't. But he was literally like, it was cool. The camera crew were really on it. They were like showing like different people in the crowd, like, and he was going, I don't know if he did this at your show, but he was like finding people that he thought looked serious and was like, you look serious, put your tongue out, and the camera would go to him and they'd make them go like this on the camera for everyone to see. And we were right at the back, so no one could even see us. So we were all looking at each other around us being like, this feels pathetic, because we're all just like...
Yeah, I was relatively near the back. I was seated and I just kind of turned to my mum and did like a little...
Because I was like... the first thing me and Harrison did. We both just went...
Yeah, if I was front row, I probably would have gone full force.
Yes.
But back in the shadows... I don't know that it's the same.
Yeah. I was like, I think this feels awkward because I'm not in the atmosphere, but it did feel awkward at the back being like...
Yeah, another one that he did was to turn to both of your neighbours and call them a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now, the people on my left-hand side was a mother and her, I would presume, about 10, 12-year-old son.
That's tragic.
So I don't know these people, and he's like, even if you don't know them, call them this, and I'm like, So I thought that this was a great time to get my camera out. I did end up deleting this clip afterwards because it didn't really show anything. But I used that as like a get out of jail free card to not call this random woman and her son a mother.
That's fair. I mean, I don't think he said that to us in Birmingham, but he did say turn to the people next to you and say, I fucking love you, I think is what he was telling us to say.
So
yes,
maybe
it started with that.
That's all he said to us.
No, it started with that I fucking love you, and then it turned to that, and I was just like, feels a little bit personal if I say this to a randomer.
Yeah, like all for banter between friends, but this feels like it's crossing the line.
Yeah.
I feel that. And I every show that we've been to for Yungblud, he does say turn to someone. Have you seen him before, or was this your first time seeing him?
No, this was my first time seeing him.
Okay, every time I've seen him, he has said like turn to someone next to you. Like I think he said give them a hug when you came, and I was like, Philippa hates people touching her.
I was like, get me in the middle of the people we are with, because I am not hugging.
Did you not get a random hug then?
No.
I hugged a random.
I think I sandwiched myself in the middle of everyone that we were actually with.
Yeah, we were.
Please don't touch me.
Yeah, especially at a gig, everyone's sweaty and like gross.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want some random person to sweat on me. It's a bit grim.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. So I feel like he always does something like that. But I mean, yeah, what you've just said maybe crosses some sort of line. I feel like that was improv on the spot, and then maybe his crew afterwards were like, maybe don't say that again.
Yeah, scrap that.
Yeah,
You just know there was some people in the crowd that had been really annoyed with the person next to them that just went for it.
Yeah, like, this is my chance.
And you can't tell me off for saying
Yeah,
it.
Exactly.
He's given me permission.
Maybe some people got lamped, but who knows? Yeah, at the very beginning of the show, he did like a video of him backstage, and it was like him, like, you know how Morgan Wallen does the thing where he's like walking and like backstage, like him coming out onto stage. Yungblud did the same thing, and it was black and white, and it was him like getting ready to come out onto the stage, and I can't remember exactly what he did, but he was just like being like really hype and like kissing his necklace and like doing stuff at the camera and stuff. And I said to Harrison, his energy is not even on stage yet, and I'm already buzzing to see him.
Did he
like,
start with a cigarette?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, and then the video cut, and then he came onto stage, and the set all lit up and stuff. And it was like, I think the gist was it was supposed to be the Gateway to Heaven, as the stage production.
That makes a lot of sense.
Harrison said I did not get that, and I was like, I think that's what, because it was like two big pillars and then angel wings at the top, and I was like, I think it's supposed to be like heaven, because it's he started with heaven, hello.
Although
Heaven.
I thought that was the same archway that was used on or a replica of, the final Black Sabbath show that happened in
Villa Park.
Villa.
That's it, Villa Park. So maybe it's not the same, but that's what I thought it was rather than. But that's a great analogy as well.
Yungblud, could you please confirm what your set was? Yeah, he started with Hello, Heaven, Hello, and so like the stage all lit up and it was all dark and everyone walked on stage and whatever, and it had the text and it like, how do I describe this? It had like a panel that had like text rolling around and it was saying hello in different languages, and then it ended on hello, and then obviously everyone was like, he's gonna play Hello, Heaven, Hello, and then he comes on stage and it stopped on hello, he came out and did that, and to be fair, out of the whole new album, that is the one song that I'm like, I actually listen to, because to be quite honest, I love Yungblud and I've followed him for years and years and years, but this album is not a bit of me. So there's only maybe 2 or 3 songs of his new releases that I actually like listen to and know. The others are like fine, it's not like I hate them, but it's like I wouldn't choose to put them on. So that one, like him coming out to that, like instantly was like, yeah, okay, I'm having a good time. Like it really got me excited for the rest of the show.
I think it was a perfect song to start on. I mean, obviously the thing of like saying hello makes it sense as well. But yeah, I think starting on that song was a perfect choice.
I agree.
Okay, so you guys were you standing then?
I was standing.
Yeah, so you have one seated, one standing. What was the atmosphere like for seated? Because that can be so like...
It can be really
It
different.
started off a bit questionable, and we were the front row of our block, but like further away in terms of the actual line. So he comes out and I was ready to like, launch myself up off of my seat, but nobody else on the row did, and I always feel a bit awkward to be the only person to do it or the person to start it.
We've all been there.
And so then I kind of turned to my mum, who was sat this side of me, and I said, do you want to stand up? And she went, yes, okay. So then we did it together, and then the whole rest of the block followed suit. But yeah, just the very start of it was like, are we just going to sit here for the whole evening?
How is it not people's initial reaction to just stand up? Like,
I find that a lot more now recently as well. Like, I feel like when we used to go seated, when we used to go and see Busted and stuff when we were like 14, everyone would just stand up. That was always the etiquette. Like, everyone always did it. And I went to see Machine Gun Kelly earlier this year, and everyone was the same for that. Like, me and Harrison and Jazz were the only ones that were like standing up in our row and behind us, and I felt really annoying because no one even followed suit. Like,
Oh, that
it was
is awkward
like
then,
just
isn't
us and
it?
everyone around us was still sat, and I was like, this is Machine Gun Kelly, not like I went to see Tom Jones and everyone stayed sitting.
That would make a lot more sense.
I understand, but when you're going to see the likes of like Yungblud and Machine Gun Kelly, like what?
Yeah.
What?
I think
Get up!
yeah, like some vibes it makes sense. Like the seating at Alex Warren was quite varied. There were the odd people standing up, but most of them were sat. But I was like, his songs are a lot slower. There's not that many. There are a couple of ones that you can kind of have a bit of a dance to, but like it kind of makes more sense for people to stay seated at that because you're not really moving much to Alex. His songs are very slow for the most part. But
I do think Birmingham's been slammed for being a bad audience for that kind of thing. But obviously I was in Sheffield and they did follow through, but come on, let's be a bit more active with getting up.
Where's the enthusiasm?
Yeah, agree. And I think that it's been the case for a few shows that we've been to that it's like, I think that people do actually just sit now. And I get it if you are like older and need to sit or whatever.
Injury or
understandable. But there was a lot of like young people around us and stuff that I was like, I am like very shocked that you're not like standing up and getting into it a little bit more.
Yeah. Was there a standout song for any of you guys? Was there like one that you were just like, yeah, that was like magic?
I feel like this is so obvious as to what I'm going to say, and I feel really stereotypical with the answers that I'm about to give, but Zombie and Changes, you just couldn't beat it. There's a reason why those are, I mean, I know obviously Changes isn't his, but there's a reason why those are the main songs. And
Yeah.
Did he cry at both shows for Changes?
I was going to ask how he was during Changes for you, because I know that he kept saying that he was really emotional because obviously Ozzy's from Brum. So he was saying like, in fact, before he even started singing it, he said like, I have been to myself all week at the thought of having to perform this in Birmingham, like the pressure that I'm under right now to get this right. And I was like, you're Yungblud, you're gonna get it right. How many times have you done this? Like, it's fine. But he was like, I need to do this justice at the show, and he cried through the whole performance. Like he was sobbing.
Wow.
And I wondered what it was like elsewhere, because I didn't know if it was just Birmingham that he was like that with, or if it was everywhere.
You could tell that in Sheffield he was very emotional. Obviously he's got a lot of emotional ties to Ozzy and that song, and he more so took a moment afterwards to kind of, you know,
take it all in,
kiss his chain, look up at the sky, have his moment. And you could tell throughout the song he was emotional, but I didn't notice any actual crying.
I mean, in all fairness, I don't know whether it was the same for yours, but he was like soaking wet through the whole thing. I think he kept chucking buckets of water over himself. He came on soaking wet. I was like, I don't think that's sweat. I think he's covered himself in water. He's like soaking wet.
Yes, but I do think that man knows that a lot of people are physically attracted to him.
Yeah.
And he most definitely plays into that.
Yeah, definitely.
And he knows what he's doing.
He does. 100%. He's leaning into that for sure. And yeah, I mean, he came on shirtless from the get-go, just in case you didn't know that.
We had a little leather waistcoat for all of 30 seconds.
Yeah, literally. He was just shirtless from the second he came on stage. So, but I genuinely think he just keeps soaking himself in water, so it might have been hard to see the tears through the water, but he was like, he kept like wiping his eyes and stuff during the show, like during that song, and I think just that song alone, because I said to Harrison, how long's the set list, and he said 16 songs. I said 16's really short. Like when I went to see Machine Gun Kelly, I think that 30's big, but it was like 32 songs or something. I said that's a long set list. I'd expect like a normal set list to be about 25, but I said 16 is like a really short amount of songs. But Changes on its own took up like 15 minutes by the time he was like with the spiel and the speech and the build up and the song and everything afterwards, and like it took up at least 10-15 minutes of the show, just that song. And I think that Hello Heaven Hello is quite like a long one as well. It's like 3 sections, isn't it? So that took up a lot of time as well. So I was like, okay, it makes sense now that he's only done that many songs because they've taken so long to do. But Changes was also a highlight for me. That was definitely like a hard-hitting moment. And actually, I don't know if it was the same at yours, but a lot of people turned up in Aussie shirts. So during the song, the camera crew kept zooming in on people in the crowd that were in Ozzy Osbourne shirts as well.
I don't think I noticed any.
I do think that
I
it's
only saw
Birmingham,
Yungblud t-shirts really, and I think obviously with it being Birmingham, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, people were quite attached to the whole thing, and I mean, I respect Ozzy Osbourne, but I've never listened to like his music or anything really myself, and even I teared up watching him perform that. Like, it was a very special moment to be involved with.
Yeah. I think it's very interesting, the crowd that it's brought to Yungblud.
Yes.
Like, Dad was saying, like, he actually knows a lot of people his age, like his friends, that have really gotten into Yungblud since that Black Sabbath show.
I agree.
It's my turn to do it now.
I actually said that to Harrison because when people were turning up, there was a lot of like people that looked like Dad, like heavy metal fans, and like they
People
came
from
in
the
their
rock
download
scene.
shirts and they're like and their massive long white beards and stuff, and I was like, everyone looks like they're here to see like a heavy metal gig, but they're here to see Yungblud. It feels weird. But then you also had like children, and then you also had people like us, and you had like girls that looked really trendy, and then you had like, I don't know, like like proper emos with like their bright coloured hairs and their white face paint makeup. It was a real mixed crowd, I think.
Yeah.
And like you say, I think that's probably from the Villa Park
It's probably
show.
from everything over time, because his music originally was very different, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, he like started up as rap.
Yeah, and it kind of got a bit rockier.
Oh my goodness, I need to look back into this.
Yeah, when I was with my ex-partner, he used to play Yungblud in the car, and he used to say, "Please turn this off." And then, after we'd broken up, he started to release songs that I was like, "Oh, actually, I quite like these." And I was like, this guy's gonna see me posting, going to see this, and be like, "This fucking bitch he always told me to turn this off. What a hypocrite!" But I think his music style has changed so much. And I mean, even still, like, he's just released recently. He released Low Life. I'm pretty sure that was quite recent.
Yeah,
and that's quite like,
that was where I started to fall off a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I really like that one.
he played The Funeral. You'd have liked that.
Yeah, I do like The Funeral. That was the first one you played me that I liked.
Okay,
Because the video was very MCR.
Yes, it was actually. yeah. He played The Funeral, and I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed. Me and Harrison said that he played like older songs, but he played like Loner, and what was the other one he played? I'm trying to think of what the older one was.
There was
ones that we wouldn't have chose, basically.
Yeah.
That he's got much better older songs that he didn't play.
Fleabag. That's
Fleabag.
what I was gonna say.
I actually did enjoy Fleabag.
That's one of the songs that I actually knew before learning more.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy that one, because I didn't know every song on the set list.
Are you a big Yungblud listener? I didn't know if it was you that wanted to go or your mum that wanted to go from your posts. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so it's a funny story actually. I'll go back from the beginning. So probably in about September of last year, my mum texts me and says, "Are you interested in seeing Yungblud?" Now, this isn't unusual for her. She would typically text me about various different artists just because she's had an email to say that they're coming to Birmingham. Are you interested in so-and-so? So I said, no, I'm not that interested in Yungblud. Like, I only know a couple of his songs. And that was that. A few weeks later, we were at the Lewis Capaldi concert, and we went and got some food beforehand.
Lee Simpson supported on that tour, didn't he?
Brad
supported Lewis Capaldi, I'm sure, last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah, it was towards the end of last year. I don't remember seeing...
Brad supported Lewis Capaldi, and then he supported Bastille. He did too. But I was like, I can't believe I didn't go to this Lewis Capaldi show.
Maybe he did. I'm going to be so honest, I don't remember him being there, but it was like...
Was there a supporter that played an ABBA song? Because I'm sure that was when he played Give Me a Man After Midnight.
Did he do the whole...
Maybe he only did select shows, but he did some of them, and I was really mad.
I want to say I could be very wrong, and I would need to Google it to be assured of myself. I want to say Sky Newman was there, but that could be very wrong. And I feel like I remember hearing her songs, and I feel like I would remember if Bradley Simpson...
Maybe it was
because
different
back in the
people for
day,
different shows.
I did used to be into the Vamps.
Yeah.
I haven't followed them for a few years now, but I was into the Vamps back in the day, so I feel like I would have remembered if Bradley Simpson was there.
Yeah.
But I think it was Sky Newman.
Maybe it was different. Yeah, it looks like it was different people for different dates.
You can breathe now, Phil.
Yeah. No, I was about to be so jealous because I was like, of all the tours, like I saw Lewis Capaldi on the one tour and I was like, of all the tours for me to not go to.
Yeah, you were all right then.
Cool. That's fine.
We can come back down to this level now.
Yeah. I can relax.
And you may continue.
So, yeah, we did the Lewis Capaldi concert, brilliant, by the way, and we were getting food beforehand, and she just says to me, I can't believe that you wouldn't come to Yungblud with me. And I was like, whoa, since when was the topic of conversation to be attending with you?
Yeah.
And so then we kind of chatted about it more, and I really got to see how into Yungblud she was, because that was something that I was not aware of before this. And I was like, okay, I can see how much my mom is interested in seeing him. She's so excited just talking about him, follows like Facebook groups and all this kind of stuff. It's like, right, my mission has been laid out in front of me. Christmas is coming up.
Oh, perfect.
I need to make this happen. But by this point, the tickets had already gone on sale and sold out, other than like Dublin or something. And I was genuinely looking at flights because of how like excited my mum was talking about
We've been saying we want to go to a gig in Dublin, to be fair, haven't we?
Everyone
think
says the
that'd be
crowds
so
in Dublin
cool.
are so good. Like
Yeah.
everyone says Dublin is an
We're
amazing
gonna do
crowd.
we're gonna do a trip to Dublin at some point, but I
Yeah.
feel like you have to have some kind of level of commitment to the
Yeah.
person you're going to see. If
We've,
it's- if
we've
it's
been
good.
waiting for the
Yeah.
Vamps to tour again and they've just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Legit, we'd said at the end of the last Vamps tour, we were like, okay, next tour we're going to Dublin and we're making a weekend of it. Like, let's do it. And the Vamps have no longer toured or released anything.
Yeah, they've
so.
literally not done anything since.
at
That
the
fell off the
Vamps,
face of
make
on
it
it.
happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I looked at everything, could not get tickets for love nor money. And the algorithm obviously saw me search time and time again. So on Facebook, I get Yungblud's added one more night in Sheffield. I was like, right, here we go. So got the tickets, got the hotel, gave the tickets to my mom for her Christmas present. And I've genuinely never seen her so excited. She was like kid in a sweet shop vibes. So that is, in a nutshell, why I saw Yungblud.
Oh, that's really sweet. I like that.
I did listen to a couple of his songs beforehand anyway, but literally like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And that was it. And yeah, now he's in the playlist.
Fair. I like that. I like that. And did you listen to the new album before you went, or?
I did. I didn't learn all of the songs. I had learned a few of them, like Hello and things like that. But yeah, I had played it through a couple of times.
Yeah, I was the same really with this album. To be honest, I knew his older stuff, and the funeral actually was quite a highlight for me because I absolutely love that song, so I enjoyed watching that. But generally speaking, he did play a lot of the new album, and I was like,
Yeah, I stood there for quite a few and I was like, I don't know this one.
I felt like as well they were like, considering his vibe and like how like kind of hyper he is and charismatic, I feel like his set list was quite slow, really. I didn't feel like I was jumping around the whole time. I did feel like there was a lot of like not slow songs but like ballads.
Yes,
I'd say. So yeah, I did say to Harrison it didn't feel as like lively as the ones that we'd been to prior.
Yeah, because the last one was the album that I did like with the funeral, and I was gutted because he didn't play Don't Go. I think that's why when he was touring this album, I was like, well, he didn't play my favourite one off the album I do like last time, so he's not going to play it this time. I'm not going to miss much.
They actually, for Fleabag, he actually got someone on stage at the Birmingham show. Did you do that for any songs at yours?
yes, he did. What did they play? Because it wasn't Fleabag.
Someone was in the crowd holding up a sign that says, I can play Fleabag on guitar. And he saw them and said, is that true? How well can you play it? And he was like, no, seriously, I can play it. So we got him up on stage. He had a little a band card, like a business card that he gave to Yungblud and was like, this is my band. And Yungblud read it out and said, like, this is his band, guys, like, go and give him a listen and stuff. I was like, what a way to promote your band. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's such a good idea.
And he played Fleabag for the whole time on stage with Yungblud, and it was pretty cool. I was like, imagine that. Like, I could never. The nerves. No way.
Yeah. I take it back. Looking back at the set list, yes, it was Fleabag. We had a girl come and do it, and she said that she was from Glasgow, which is insane to come down to Sheffield from Glasgow.
Yeah.
She did the same thing, banner in the air, and she did a great job, because I was saying that if you can play it and you've learnt to play it, you've done it a million times over, you can do it in your sleep, that doesn't mean that when you're on stage in front of thousands of people that you don't just like forget everything that you've ever known.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and
fair play
getting
to
time
them.
with the band as well, because live performance is completely different, and they've not got a like in-ear monitors or anything for
and they've
it.
not been
They're
in
just
rehearsals. Like, they'll have rehearsed that song time and time again.
Yeah.
I think that what actually happened now, I mean, I'm no tech master myself, but I think that they played the first bit like to do the intro or whatever, and then for the rest of the song, like there was parts where it was zooming into his fingers and he was doing like this, and I was like, I personally cannot hear that. And I wondered if they'd muted his guitar
Or
through
maybe
parts
turned
of
it
it and
down a
had like a
little
guitar
bit,
backtrack so that it stayed in time, is what I was wondering. But they definitely played it at the beginning, like, and he played it well, but whether they did like actually perform it all the way through, I'm not 100% certain, but I don't know, because I'm no tech master. But there was a couple of times that I was like, I don't quite hear that, so whether they've just turned it down or what, I don't know. But
Yeah. So it was a live band he had as well.
yes,
Yeah.
it was a live band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing more and more live bands recently with people instead of backing tracks, and it's like really changing the game for me at the moment. The shows are hitting so hard.
Equally, pop artists, I feel like, do have, even when they do have a band on stage, they have some sort of backing track. For example, I don't think it's bad either. Like Sabrina, when she was at, was it Coachella she's performed at recently?
Yes.
There were parts where she's just dancing and she's still singing, but she's not singing. Like, she's not singing into the microphone, but you can still hear her singing, so there's obviously a backing track. But I don't mind if artists like that, because she's still performing.
Yeah.
It's not like, and she does sing over the top, but she sings the deeper bits. And I don't mind. I honestly don't mind, because she's still there doing like her thing and trying to dance around and make a good show, and she still sounds good.
Was incredible.
I still am yet to watch a lot of the clips. I've only seen 1 or 2 clips of her like jumping on the stars and stuff to go up to the stage for, is it House Tour that was that House Tour? I don't know. I don't remember. But Harrison's got the full thing saved on TikTok on his phone that we're going to sit down and watch together at some point.
It was a production.
Yeah, I think she slays. Can't lie.
Yeah. I think, like, for people like Sabrina, though, unless you have, like, backing singers, you need that backing track, because her songs rely on those different, like, a high and a mid and a low
range.
harmonies. Like, they all have that at the same time. But actually having a live band for the music,
hits different.
like, it just sounds different. It hits completely different. Like, I've seen so many recently that have gone back to live bands, and it's just so much better.
Yeah, I think it's great. And I mean, for Yungblud as well, he had, don't ask me which song, Violins as out as well. And so obviously that live then makes that song so much different to some of the other ones that he had on the set list as well. So
yeah, it's like when you go and see, they do the like Disney in concerts and Harry Potter in concerts and all those kind of in concert events, because it does hit different when you've got the music, like a band performing live in front of whatever you're watching. It just does hit different. That's why those events are so popular.
Yeah, 100%. It's good to see that kind of live band, live music coming back.
And while we're talking about crew as well, I must say I was very impressed with the camera crew. I think that the visuals on his stage were insane.
spot on.
They were insane. And I don't know whether he said this to you, but there was even parts where I was like, okay, he's pushing the line now. He was asking people to, like, he was like, everyone stand up, get on each other's shoulders, get on whatever. And he was encouraging everyone to do that as normal. He said to the people that were seated, he was like, if you're on your seats, stand on your chair now. Did he say that to you?
Yeah, we had stand on the chairs.
I was like, he's going to be in trouble for saying that.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
No, I did not. No, I did not.
But basically, no one did in Birmingham either. I was like, I would probably fall and die.
Yeah, and I was like at the barrier of my section as well, and I thought, if I fall, that's a long way down if I go over that barrier.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. But yeah, overall, that show was very good. From all the times I've seen him, it's bottom of my list, like in terms of the performances. But it's probably because I didn't like that album as much. as I've liked his previous albums. And plus, I was probably the furthest back that I've been, because we were quite close when we went
really close
to the Utility last time.
When Neck Deep was supporting.
Yeah. And the other one that I've been to see him at was not personal.
It was HMV Empire, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a really intimate gig. A really intimate gig. There was only like a couple of hundred tickets that you cool, so kindly were on your game for.
I was supposed to be sat-naving, like we were going on holiday. Mum had got me in the front doing the sat-nav, and I was like, hang on, I'm just going to get these tickets for Tash.
But I don't want that to take away from his performance, because it was still really good, and he's got so much energy and charisma. And I literally turned to Harrison partway through the show and said he is literally born to do this. Some people are just born with the personality, like he needs to be up on that stage.
But I don't think he takes it for granted at all, though. That is one major takeaway that I had from the show in general, and I presume that Birmingham would be the same, that he would just, look out to the crowds or be saying like thank you for obviously the opportunities that he gets, and buying his tickets, listening to his music. And every single artist will get on stage and say, thanks for XYZ. But I think a lot of artists of today just take that as granted, and that's their life now, and that's normal to them now. I think Yungblud is very good at realising that actually, no, this isn't normal, and it is insane to have the kind of lifestyle that he does.
Yeah.
And everything that he was saying and how emotional he was speaking as well just made me think, you really don't take this for granted. And I really appreciated that as an audience member, to think, you realise this.
He's so down to earth and so grounded, and he really hasn't lost his way. Like you say, I think it's so easy for artists to like get fame and then lose their way and their like morals and stuff, but I do feel like genuinely he's one of the only artists that feels like from the bottom of his heart he's like more than grateful for all of his opportunities, and
he fights for so much for his fans as well, and for people. Like he uses his voice and he uses his platform, and he's making sure like his shows are accessible to people with lower budgets as well, as like, because music now is it's becoming beyond a luxury to go to shows. It's not even just a luxury anymore, it's like an extreme luxury. So him fighting to keep prices lower for things, and like with Bloodfest and stuff, he keeps that a relatively cheap one. It makes such a huge difference, I think, as well, and it shows that you can. It shows that you can fight for your ticket prices to not be ridiculous.
And merch as well, because I don't know if he had a part to play in this, but Primark had a lot of Yungblud merch, and so a lot of people who I saw there had some of the Primark t-shirts, jumpers on, so then that means that you can be involved sometimes without having to pay £50-60 for a t-shirt.
Did you get any merch while you were there?
My mum did.
Okay.
So she got herself a t-shirt with all the dates on the back. So.
Oh, nice. we got the dodgy shirt from outside. You know the ones. We got a black one with like his face on it, said Yungblud, and it had all the dates on the back, and we were like, 15 quid, okay.
It might peel off in the wash, but we'll see.
We'll see. Sometimes I've found some of them are even better quality than the actual expensive merch ones.
My Paramore hoodie is still going strong, and I've had that nearly 10 years now.
Exactly. But yeah, he's such a genuine guy, and I feel it every time I see him, and it just makes it so much more enjoyable to watch him and support him, because you know that he's a sound bloke. And I think that I actually turned to Harrison partway through the show and said he was just a kid at school. He was just living his life like this. He was just going to shows like we are now, and look at him now. Like, that is amazing, just because he fought for what he wanted to do. And he embraced himself. He's so weird, but in the he's so weird, but in the best way. Like, you can't help but love him. And I'm like, I just love that he's so himself, unapologetically.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. I think
100%.
If anybody was too fake and too curated, I don't think there's anybody off the top of my head who I listen to that fits that. But that would make me lose interest, no matter how much I enjoy the music.
You have a disconnect. Yeah. 100%. He what a guy. Dom. This was fun, and I feel like I feel like we've perfectly filled this episode with a lot of interesting content. I feel like sometimes we kind of scrape the barrel of what are we going to talk about. I feel like we filled this so easily, so well. So thank you very much for joining us on this episode.
So much for
I hope
having
that
me.
you had a good time.
Absolutely. I'd love to be back. But yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. You can find all of Grace's details down below in the description. We'll make sure that we link her up on our YouTube. Obviously, on if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Music, you can head over to YouTube and give Grace a watch. She releases good content. How often do you post?
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday. There you go. Go and check her out. Thank you very much for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you so much.
And until next time, we will see you next Thursday. Thank you very much for watching. I haven't posted yet, but I will post all of the clips of our Yungblud videos over on our Instagram highlights. So if you wanted to see any clips of the show, I'll post them over there. And that is all for this week. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week with a brand new video. Bye.
Bye.